I've never let myself release something into the world that was obviously bad. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tara East. I'm a writer, blogger, YouTuber, and the author of the mystery novel, Every Time He Dies. And in today's video, I want to talk about the fear and the resistance that can come up with writing. Now, I've previously done blogs and videos on fear and the resistance that can come up around writing, but this is such a rich topic. I mean, hell, Stephen Pressfield has created a whole second career around this stuff. But I'm going to continue to revisit this topic whenever it comes up for me, or whenever I feel like I have something new to say about it. There's a quote on my fridge that I look at every single day. Resisting writing is harder than writing. I'm not actually sure why I've got this quote on my fridge. It's not like I write in the kitchen. Maybe it's procrastinating or something. But anyway, I look at it every day, and it's a constant reminder that action is the only way to overcome that sticky resistance, that fear around writing. But the reminder is a good one, and it's one that I need to be reminded of a lot because my inner critic begs to differ. So before I began the revision of my latest work in progress, I felt just massive resistance. I'd sort of spent about a year producing multiple drafts of the story because that's how I sort of figure out what I wanted to have happen. And then I spent another month really workshopping my revision. I knew the story, I knew the characters, I knew what my theme was. I'd really worked out and I really had everything that I needed in order to revise, restructure, and polish the draft to make it the best version of itself. I'd made the plan, I had time in my schedule, which is very important. But every morning when I woke up, I just felt dread. Now, this wasn't like a crippling dread. It wasn't like being stuck on a highway in the outback with no cell phone service, no food, no water, and no good book to read. It was a quieter dread, like I'm going to go to the dentist today dread. Now, this dread sort of came from feeling a little bit rusty, feeling a little bit detached from the story. I felt massive resistance and just basically a little bit afraid. Now look, this isn't my first rodeo. I know that resistance, that the fear evoked by creativity will never actually go away. So basically, all I was left to do was take my own advice, the advice I've been spewing onto this YouTube channel for like 3 years. I did all the pretty things. I lit a candle, I put some flowers on my desk, I put my little printed outline beside my computer, and I turned on some ambient sounds. I decided that I was just going to white knuckle my way through this. I was going to white knuckle through this fear. So I opened my Word document and I scrolled to the section that I wanted to begin working on, but then my fear just doubled. My inner critic was just screaming at me, how the hell am I going to fix this book? Do you even know what you're doing? How do you actually write a book? How the hell does anyone write a book? Now, logically, I knew this fear was totally unsound. It's not like I planned to hit published the second I'd finished my writing session that day. I've never published anything that I didn't first read and proof and polish to the best of my abilities. I've never let myself release something into the world that was obviously bad. And yet I still was doubting myself. I was so incredibly aware of my own inadequacies. And then this is kind of where we get to the root of things, and that's perfectionism. I wanted to write a novel on paper that matched the vision in my head. And this is a trick that even experienced and far more prestigious writers than me have completely failed at. A few weeks ago, I was listening to an episode on the Writer's World podcast, and the title of the episode, which sent my heart cold, was, "Is It Worth It?" And the short, unanimous answer by the two co-hosts was, well, financially speaking, no, it's not worth it. But I'm a much better person for having become a writer. I'm happier, I'm more joyful, I'm doing the thing that I really want to do. Now I know from my own experience that I'm a much better person when I'm writing. So if writing isn't worth it financially speaking, and as the old adage says, the reward of writing is writing, then why was I really striving for this perfectionism? And why was that perfectionism manifesting as fear? Basically, I was sort of asking myself, What's the big deal? If you're not really going to earn any money, which sort of means that there aren't very many readers, then where's all the pressure kind of coming from? Because it kind of sounds like you got nothing to lose. Now, I can't answer that question for you, but for me, what it really came down to is that I just care about writing, and I want writing to be taken seriously, so then I had to take it seriously. Writing is about creating meaning. It's about improving yourself and rising to the challenge. And when writing is going good, it's just fucking fun. On really good days, you're so immersed in the work that there's basically no boundary between you and it. You become so focused, so absorbed, that the boundaries between you and it even ceased to exist. Now, I was desperate to return to this immersed in my book state, but that fear that I was feeling that I wasn't good enough created an invisible barrier that was as hard as brick. So what did I do? The only thing you actually can do. I plowed forward. A lesson I think I'm going to have to learn again and again for the rest of my life is that you can't get rid of resistance. You can't eliminate fear. The best thing you can do is acknowledge it and then move through that discomfort by taking action. You decide that you're going to write even though you feel like you're no good. You continue to write until your timer goes off, you hit your word count for the goal, the hour is up, or you're just totally spent. There will be days where it isn't going well. You totally suck. The book kinda sucks. And then there will be days when you are so in love with writing that you can't even believe how lucky you are. The first day of working on my revisions was awful. The next day was a little bit better. And the day after that was even better again. Now, I do want to say that that fear is still there. It's still there every day before I go to my computer, every day when I wake up. But I'm choosing to write anyway. And with every single word that I type, the decibels of that inner critic are just getting that little bit quieter. Because here's the thing. Books that exist in heads are perfect. And books that are printed on paper are imperfect. And I'd rather have an imperfect book in my hand than one in my head any day. How about you? And that's all I've got for you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button or give it a thumbs up because that's what algorithms like. If you'd like even more writing advice, you can head to taraeast.com and dive into the archives. While you're there, you should also consider joining my email list because when you do, you'll receive a weekly email from me with a bunch of little goodies in it, plus links to that week's blog and YouTube video, and I'll send you a free gift. Thank you so much for being here and for watching to the end. I so appreciate it. Stay safe, stay calm, and keep writing, and I'll see you again next week.